Ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot of replica titles, as you can tell by my background here. I actually have 10 of them. However, most of mine are actually autographed. They're all signed by wrestlers. A lot of them are covered in signatures. And inside this video, I want to talk about how you get your WWE Replica title belt signed by wrestlers. So this video is brought to you guys by SeatGeek. So if you guys are looking for tickets for any events in the entire world, get them through SeatGeek. Use my last name as your promo code at checkout, code Hodge, and you guys will get $20 off your tickets. That's good for any order, any tickets, any event. Only thing is first-time orders only. So if you've ordered through SeatGeek before, make a new account with a new email. Use that code Hodge, get you $20 off any ticket, any event in the entire world. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I've met a lot of wrestlers. I've met like over 50 WWE wrestlers or something like that. It's crazy. The one point I want to make about my past meeting wrestlers is I met them all for pretty much free, because they used to do a lot of free promotional signings. They still do every once in a while, like a Cricket Wireless or some kind of promotional store kind of thing, and sometimes you can look up for doing that. But back when I was meeting most wrestlers, they were doing autograph signings before every single show, like literally every show, every Raw, every SmackDown, every premium live event, they were doing a signing. So if I was going to a show and they were doing a free signing, I'm like, well, why would I not go? Yeah, I'm gonna go. So I met a lot of wrestlers doing that, and I got a lot of titles signed, because I'm like, I don't really have anything specific for the wrestler to sign. What should they sign? Oh, sign the title. And I try to link it up where hopefully most signatures on the titles are of wrestlers who have won the title, but it always hasn't ended up that way. Sometimes I have wrestlers just sign titles just to sign titles. So nonetheless, I'm gonna show you guys my autographs I have on my titles. I'm gonna tell you guys how you can meet wrestlers as well in multiple different methods. It doesn't necessarily have to be at a meet and greet. And how you can get your wrestling title signed just like I got mine signed. So I'm already holding this one, so I might as well start with this one. This is the United States Championship, as you could probably tell by the the U.S. flag on it. So basically, this is the old U.S., that's the new U.S. I haven't met any wrestlers in a while, because it's hard to find free meet and greets anymore, and I'm not paying $300 to meet a person and have them sign something. And I'm like, no. If it's free, all right, I'm down. I mean, every once in a while, if it's a wrestler I'm really into, I'll pay some money. Like I paid like $200 to meet Seth Rollins before, because he was my favorite wrestler at the time. That's a lot of money. I definitely wouldn't be doing that again. But if it was like John Cena or something, but at the same time, I met John Cena for like $20 at a bookstore, so I don't know if I'd be paying that. I got this one signed by Kane. I got this one signed by Y2J Chris Jericho. And I got this one signed by the Yes Man, Daniel Bryan. So yeah, Kane and Daniel Bryan were signing together, so I kind of just set my title on the table when I was meeting each one. And they both decided to sign it. I was just going for Daniel Bryan because he won the title, but Kane, I mean, that's cool too, you can't really complain about that. But I wasn't anticipating that, because I got Kane to sign something else, so Kane pretty much just gave me a free autograph, so I appreciate that. Y2J Chris Jericho, I met him at WrestleMania Access, so that is one I paid money for. I paid, I think, $99 for that, because that was one of my favorite wrestlers, and I thought it was worth $99. WrestleMania, $99, it's hard to complain for those autographs that they used to charge, because now they're like $200 or $300. And then some of the wrestlers are charging crazy money, like $500. It's like, no. All right, so this title is the Intercontinental Championship. So I got this one signed mostly by people who won the title. So taking up the giant snap box here, hopefully you guys can see this, is Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy signed this thing. He's actually the first person to sign this title all the way back in 2015. I met him at an indie show over there in South Carolina. Move on, we have Buff Bagwell. Everyone likes to hate on me for getting him to sign this thing, but it's like, I didn't have anything from the guy to sign. He was like, he was trying to give me like 5 autographs and like 30 photos and all this other. He was just a nice guy. He was like, he's just happy to have like a younger fan, because he's an older like WCW wrestler, but he's like one of the nicest guys ever. Let's move on down to the strap here. We got Dolph Ziggler, got Ryback. Those are both free signings at something in the 2015 shows I went to. And move on down the title. You got Razor Ramon. Are you kidding me? Rest in peace, the legend Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, whatever you want to call him. It was Razor Ramon, of course, when he won this title in the old WWF back in the 90s. All right, the next title we're going to do here is the big gold, if you will, the old World Heavyweight Championship. So this one's actually signed by 2 freaking legends. So on this side of the strap, we got the Nature Boy. Can I get a woo out here? We got Ric Flair signing that end, and the other end is actually signed by none other than Sting. So we got Sting, Ric Flair, 2 legends on this title. Now, fun fact, If you guys don't know, Ric Flair actually did sign this other end initially with just a giant like woo all the way down the strap. But I had the opportunity to meet Sting, and I'm like, well, that was what I was initially kind of thinking, is like one legend on each side, but I didn't know I was going to meet Sting. So I ended up removing the woo. Fun fact, if you ever need to remove like Sharpie permanent marker from leather, you just have to use like some sunscreen, because it has the oils in there that makes, I don't know, dissolves the ink, I guess. But nonetheless, looking back, I don't know how I feel about that decision about removing the customized kind of thing, but at the same time, it's very nice having one legend on each side of this title. Alright, and the final one I got signed here, believe it or not, is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I guess we can still refer to this thing as, it's the same design on TV now, except it has like more gold back here, but it's literally the same design. That's why I won't buy the new like Undisputed title. It's like the same exact design, but ultimately, yeah, this one's from like 2014. I bought this thing, and as soon as I did that, I was meeting Edge like 2 weeks later. I had nothing for Edge to sign, so I got Edge to sign it right there. But yeah, this one is absolutely decked out and covered in signatures. To give you guys a little rundown of the title here, this thing is covered in signatures. So on one end, we got none other than the Celtic Warrior. We got Sheamus. Sheamus signed this in. I met him for free. Yeah, free at a Cricket Wireless before the Royal Rumble in 2016. So yeah, there's another free signing before a pay-per-view. Edge, I did end up paying for $50, $50 to sign the title. And of course, that was not very much compared to what they're trying to charge nowadays. Move on down the title. We have Seth Rollins, the man Seth freaking Rollins, and that's the one I mentioned earlier. I paid like over $200 to meet Seth Rollins. I flew like all the way to Chicago to meet Seth Rollins. Wizard World, total ripoff of a deal, but he was my favorite wrestler at the time. It was worth it to me, and I got him to sign my title right there. Let's move on down the line here. Next to Seth Rollins, we got AJ Styles. I believe I paid about $50 for that. So some of them I did pay for. $50 for that, and I met him at some kind of convention in New Jersey, and I do not remember what that was, but that was like 2017 or something like that. And move down to the final autograph here. It's the smallest one on the entire strap right there in small. It is the head of the table, our tribal chief. That's Roman Reigns right there. Puts a little RR there for me. And Roman was like the cheapest one of the paid ones. I paid like $20 to meet Roman, and now people are paying hundreds upon hundreds because he's such a megastar now. But I'm lucky to have this. Like, it's literally decked out and covered, and probably has the most signatures of any of the titles, so that's awesome. Alright, so as you guys can see, my titles are signed. Those are the signatures I have, but that's just the beginning of this video. That is just me showing you what I have, to show you guys I have some experience getting titles signed, so I'm maybe in a position to give you guys a little bit of advice about how to get your title signed. First off, first point of how to get your title signed is one of these. So yeah, you have to have a special type of Sharpie. You can't just get like any Sharpie. It's not going to show up on the leather straps or anything. So this is a special Sharpie. Now the one that most people use, I've seen different colors on different ones, but all of my titles are signed in silver. That is the most popular one. So the special Sharpie you need, Sharpie brand, just metallic. It's literally just metallic. Now normally if you meet a wrestler at a meet and greet, they already have these on the table. They already have a bunch, but it doesn't hurt to have one with you. And especially if you're traveling to a show or something, definitely bring one of these with you, because you might run into a wrestler randomly, and of course they're not carrying pins with them. So have this one. It's literally just Sharpie, silver, metallic Sharpie. Now most of the time if you meet them at a meet and greet, they're gonna have that. They're gonna have many of options. They'll have different colors or whatever, and they'll do whatever you want. And then sometimes they'll have like paint markers or whatever. And I want to make that point. Do not get your titles signed with paint markers. Get them signed with a silver metallic Sharpie, or get it with a gold metallic Sharpie. Do not get it signed with a paint pen. And why do I say that? It's because paint pens, they take forever to dry, and it's gonna smudge, and it's gonna smear, and you're not gonna be able to see the autograph. It's gonna look awful. I've seen people make that mistake before, and I'm like, oh, you have to use the metallic Sharpies. Do not use the paint pens. They do not dry. Now moving on how to meet wrestlers. So I would say you need to meet wrestlers for free, because the paid thing, like that's not going to the wrestler. If it's at like a special type of place, like let's say if the wrestler's not with WWE anymore and they're just signing at a table, and you just hand like cash to the person, their managers who's managing the kind of booth thing. That's probably for the wrestler in that case. But if they're signed to WWE, which I would imagine most people you're wanting to meet are signed with WWE, you do not, really, that money's not going to them. So don't like feel like, I'm going to pay because I want to support them or whatever. They're not getting that money. But ultimately, there's a few ways you can meet wrestlers, and you see this all over social media. If you go before the show, like outside, you figure out where the wrestlers park. Sometimes you can stand at the gates and the wrestlers will come over. Another one, like I said, where most of mine are from promotional signings that they announce before the show. That could be like a Cricket Wireless. I've met people at like movie theaters. I've seen wrestlers sign at like Walmart and stuff like that. You really just have to look at events, watch your local news or newspaper, or also WWE.com will sometimes list it, and wrestlers can do free signings there. And obviously the last point I want to make here about where you can get wrestlers to sign things is, of course, if you're your favorite wrestler and you're willing to pay a little bit of money, you can pay a little bit of money. Now, WWE used to do a lot of partnerships with like different conventions like Comic-Cons and Wizard Worlds, and you can meet them there, which was like super expensive. I think it was like $200 a wrestler, but some wrestlers, like if you didn't get the VIP and you just got the regular thing, you can meet them a bit cheaper. Like I met Bailey and got the Bailey Pop little vinyl up there signed. I think that was only like $50. So yeah, kind of look for that kind of stuff if they still even do partnerships that much. Other than that, you're gonna have to go to like a bigger event because they really don't do that many like signings, like paid signings outside of that. But every once in a while you'll see it. Like if you look on WWE.com events, you'll see like autograph signing events that you can go to, and hopefully that lines up for you. Like I think they're doing one like literally this week before one of those Raws or SmackDowns or something like that, and I believe it's a free one, so there's that. But honestly, it is very reasonable to meet wrestlers for free. Sometimes you can run into them randomly, but ultimately I say the best is at the free meet and greets, and that's where I got most of mine done at. So yeah, definitely look for those events coming up wherever, and you definitely can meet them, get those titles signed. And remember, do the metallic Sharpie. Don't do the paint pens or some kind of creative new thing. Stick with what actually is proven to work. So there you guys have it. Those are my titles signed. That's how I got them signed, and some of my advice for getting your titles signed too. Do you guys have any signatures at all on your titles or anywhere else? Let me know. Maybe you got it tattooed on your arm or something like that. So I see some people do that. Let me know down there in the comments. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm your one and only undisputed king of vlog style, Brandon Hatch, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.